Me too. All right. It's the Nando and Rome show. We are back after a few weeks, and we got a lot to talk about. The birds, they're 4-2. And if you listen to anybody around this area, like the world's falling apart. So, I
It's
mean,
burning down.
it's burning down. So, I mean, it
Fire everybody.
doesn't help that the Phillies lost. So, as well, it's
Oh,
not
that's just
going.
what kicked. That's what kicked it off.
Yeah, it's not good for Philly to throw it in there. But yes, last time we talked, they were getting ready for the Bucks. They went down to Tampa and took care of business. Uh, it wasn't pretty for the second half, but it was nice the first half,
Hmm.
uh, which has been the theme of this team.
Yeah,
Can't can't put a whole 4 quarters together. But so obviously we've seen flashes. This is still why I'm not worried. I'm more worried about the injuries, which is, I think, part of the reason why they're like,
yeah.
I guess you could say, struggling. It's injuries and people. There's been a lot of dumb shit that's going on, like way too many penalties, way too many like stupid things that they can control that's going on.
Yeah, they're just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they're doing stupid things for a team that like won the Super Bowl, and I understand that at least on defense they're young, but I mean that's let. I mean, people make a I don't live in other markets, obviously, but people make a big deal about this young thing. Ever since I've been in Philly, everybody always freaks out about having vets there and all that. And I get it. You got to have like a vet here or there, but at some point, you can't just, and Howie's done a pretty decent job of it recently. You can't just sign people. You have to develop and draft people. Obviously, last year it worked out with the two corners.
Hmm.
And, don't let anybody fool you. Quignon's playing like a top 5 corner this year. And even other corners are saying it. I watched something with Pat Surtain where he named him as like one of the top 5 corners right now. So his peers are even paying attention. Uh, Coop, he's probably the best slot corner around. But
Probably.
obviously, that second outside corner thing is probably an issue. The deadline's coming here in two
It's
more
a
weeks.
big issue.
Yeah, Keely can't tackle for shit,
He
and
sucks.
sometimes he can't cover. And Adori is fast and can't
He sucks too.
cover a thing. So like that's the issue. Bennett being hurt doesn't help because I
No.
think we only saw like flashes of him a little bit before he got put on IR, and that's like he looked decent, but
So
honestly,
would you try and put Coop on the outside to anchor it down?
I mean, well, they haven't now. I think you're I think you're creating a hole that they don't want to create. Like the Eagles are really big on this, and I guess I don't know if it's Vic or is the organization, but at least like on offense, like the offensive line, like Stoutland's kind of like this, where he like doesn't like to put people out of place. Like
Yeah.
if Toph is the backup guard, he's gonna keep what I mean, instead of like when Lane's gotten hurt, he's never moved Jordan to the right, what I mean, or
Yeah.
vice versa. Like if Jordan's hurt, he never moved Lane. Like they're really big on that. Like at least Stoutland is. He doesn't want to mess everything up, and I think that's kind of Vic too. I think that's like an old school thing. They don't want to like because I don't know. Some of these coaches are pretty smart. Some of them are dumb, and they're gonna attack the slot. There's still gonna be a hole there. You're just creating one down the middle, which is you know makes it not as hard, but it's a little harder to cover down the middle. So, I mean, he is playing outside in base, but he's
Yeah.
but teams are going to spread that out to get the matchup. And that's just kind of how you have to play it. Whether it's since you have Quignon on the right, you can shade over to his side. So I don't know why, Vic isn't shading. I think he is, but you also have to, there's been some mistakes there, obviously. People being out of place. It's been Blankenship. It's been Makuba. Obviously, Makuba gets a little bit of a pass. He's a rookie, but
Hmm.
um, Reed has been out of place a little bit a couple times, and that's what I'm talking about. That like the players have to do step up, stop doing the dumb mistakes, not only with penalties but also like execution. Like you can kind of let it slide with Makuba and Campbell, and they've been playing pretty well for once again two more rookies on the defense, and
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna make their mistakes because they are rookies. But like Tampa, the one pass to Ibuke who that went like 77 yards that went through Reed and then Makuba, that was like somebody was out of place and not in the right like didn't have the right angle
Mm-hmm.
on that. And like literally like Makuba's hand was like like maybe an inch from hitting the ball
Yeah.
there and it got through and then he went for the touchdown. So like it's things like that and that's happened a few times. But I think it's at least on offense, they can't get the run going because they have the injuries. Brett Tove can't block a fly. He's not good. I don't know why. I mean, whatever. He's not good. Landon was limited today at practice. Uh, the only person that didn't practice today was Calcaterra, but Landon was limited. Yeah, Landon was limited. Uh, Quinion was limited, and Jalen Carter was full practice. So there's that. But they've been hurt. They've been hurt on the offensive line, and that's where it starts. Um, any thoughts on the random retirement from Zadarius Smith?
I don't know if it has something to do with what's going on in the locker room right now. And he's just like, yep, I'm out. Um, because I find it funny how in the beginning of the season he says he's not ready to retire and all that jargon, and then out of the blue just walks into the building and goes, "Yeah, I'm retiring." So is there something going on in the locker room that's
So,
even other than, AJ being a tool?
so I don't, I don't really look at it that way. Only because, like, if you saw the thing, like, the Eagles still own his rights because he just decided to retire. You know, what I mean, it's not like he can go
Yeah.
sign with anybody, which is like,
Yeah.
like a rough thing. If I guess if there was something going on, like, they're not really like attached to him because he just got signed like in season, like after week one, and he's only getting like I don't even know, like maybe 5 mil or something. It's not like technically like it's not guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a 1 year deal that's there. Like if something they could have just released him and he could have gone somewhere else if that I feel like that was the case. That's the only reason why I'm not reading into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um too much. I guess I mean I've never been in that position, but I guess, you could wake up as a pro football player and be like, like I just it's hard to get up.
It's,
It's hard to get
yeah.
up every day after going around and getting hit. But I mean, we'll never know. I mean,
No.
we might know years later now because everybody has a podcast,
I was gonna
and
say, yeah, when he shows up on someone's podcast.
yeah, like later on, and then no, or maybe he's cool with a reporter. Some of these players develop relationships with reporters throughout the years, and somebody might let it out if the season goes bad. If the season goes good, then nothing comes out of it. But the narrative that's going around is give a call to BG, bring BG back.
You
Um,
know he'll come back. They called him, he would come out.
yeah, but come on.
I don't think he should. I mean,
I don't
the
think he
issue
will. I mean, he might still have the itch, but it's not like let how we try to do. If he can't, then maybe he'll come back. I think Brandon should be a last resort, if that. I think the trade deadline's coming up in 2 weeks. There's gonna be people that are out there available. Like if in the next 2 weeks the Bengals it goes sour, they're 2-4, and they lose two more. Like they don't really want. They took forever to restructure Trey Hendrickson's contract. There's one right there. I mean, he'd probably be
hmm
the biggest name at edge rusher.
I mean, that's the
You,
only one I'd want.
you still have Nolan coming back.
Yes.
It should be after this week, I believe. So like Howie also could be playing the long game, but you got to remember they do have draft picks, way too many draft picks in the next two drafts. That it's just things for Howie to play with. So I I think they just need to survive the next 2 weeks, and because then they have a bye, because they need the bye. I think they really needed this like extra couple days with playing Thursday, that mini
Yeah.
bye as they call it. Um, Everything I heard from the locker room today was like real positive from the players, and just kind of everybody's just getting ready back to work. Even our buddy AJ was in good spirits. For one, he wasn't moping around. He was actually
Yeah.
smiling and actually being. He seemed sincere. I mean, he was kind of getting a little not snappy, but he was like being a little sarcastic at first. But
Hmm.
yeah, um, but yeah, a lot of has been made of that, of AJ and whatever. I feel like I'm in deja vu again because this happened last year, and we had this talk when I we did our infamous last podcast of last season because of scheduling, where I told
Hmm.
people to relax, and it felt like the world was ending after they lost to Tampa and went on their bye.
Yeah, they're two
And
and two.
it felt like this. It felt just like this. The same narrative, the same thing. Everybody comes out of the woodwork. Everybody wants to talk about Jalen. Everybody wants to start the backup. Everybody wants to,
Well, everybody has been talking about Jalen since week one.
yeah, well,
So,
because they don't got anybody else to blame. Uh, like now we're like, this needs to happen. Same narrative. Are we too? They're too predictable. That was being talked about last year with Kellen Moore here as the coordinator. Um, I mean, football's football. There's not much innovation that after however many years football's been around that you can just come up with within the rules. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like let's stop this whole. We got to understand like this whole going under center thing. It's starting to get lost because a lot of teams are going and they're adjusting to what these quarterbacks like. I watched the Monday night, one of the two Monday night games, which are stupid. The fact that there was two, I don't know why the NFL keeps doing that.
yeah,
Uh,
it's stupid.
But I watched the Falcons Bills game because there's another example of one of the best teams in the AFC. Everybody has hopes for them to go to the Super Bowl, and they lost two straight to the Patriots and Atlanta.
And no
And
one's saying anything.
nobody's freaking out about that. And guess what? He's Allen's been turning the ball over, but God, it's Josh Allen. Like he's allowed to make mistakes. But
But
everybody else
Jalen's
isn't.
not. Yeah,
Yep.
everybody else meaning Jalen.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's just all around, especially here, but all around. But I was watching, and Michael Penix is in the pistol the whole time. I know the pistol is different than the
Hmm.
shotgun because where the running back's at, but the Eagles run pistol sometimes. It's about it's about people doing their job. Like the O line's getting blown up because they're hurt. Mailata's been playing like shit. Um, Jurgens is hurt. I mean, he had surgery this offseason on his back. He had a procedure, and I don't think he's 100% from that, fully recovered. Landon missed the game, and he's been playing hurt, and that's hurt his performance. Lane hasn't finished 2 games, and then Steen's just Steen. He's a little better than Toph, but like
But
you
it's
know,
Steen.
when you got nobody on the line, and that's where it starts. Nobody on the line is playing up to anything. Same thing with defense. The only defensive line player that's doing anything is Jordan Davis. After he lost all the weight, even Jalen Carter
Hmm.
like has been because he's been playing hurt. Whether it's the wrist or the now the heel, like he's hasn't played well, but
Hmm.
it's because of that. Like those are the things that going into a season like you can't control as a team. This is why I don't like predictions going into seasons because you can't control what happens, especially with injuries. That's the main thing. But
Hmm.
and it's happening a little bit. The Eagles have been able to get it like around it the last couple years, and it's starting to bite a little bit, and hopefully they can overcome what it is. But there's still so much season left, and guess what? Nobody in the NFC is pulling out. The team with the best record is the Bucks, 5-1, and the one loss is to the Eagles. So the Eagles have the tiebreaker there, and the Bucks going aren't not going to lose. Like they're not just going to lose one game this year. Um, like Atlanta Carolina's looking pretty decent recently, and it's a division
Okay.
game. Atlanta's got the number one defense, and they have a pretty decent offense. They just can't score points.
Hmm.
That's why they haven't won. But they're number one in overall offense. They're number one in overall defense, like yards allowed. They're number one, and then they're number one on offense. But so Atlanta's their record. I mean, their numbers. There it is. Um,
Batman in the room.
yeah, Batman. But yeah, like I feel like I'm hearing the same things. I've been thinking the more and more I see clips of people talking, especially around here. Don't barely, I don't really tune into the radio. Like me and you have said that before. I guess there he is. Um, then the only thing that I tune in is certain like segments. That's why I like that now the radio puts it on YouTube, so I don't have to tune in. Like when people come in and talk, I love when Seth gets on because Seth is real the whole time about
Yeah.
this stuff. But like it's I feel like it's the same narrative every year. And it no, like Jordan Mailata came out on his little show on WIP yesterday and they asked him about does this remind you of 23? And he was like, no, not at all, because what was I was here in 23 and what was wrong there is like it was just messed up from the core. Like the coaches that were there weren't teaching right. They weren't, like they weren't in the details as much. So it was a mess in 23. And Jordan's saying it's not like that. Um, he's saying everything the coaches are real good compared to that year.
Hmm.
And I think he even knows he's been playing like crap. And Jordan's always been real straightforward with things. So, but yeah, I mean, they got the Vikings. And yes, I get that people are probably going to be like a little leery about it going into it. But whether it's McCarthy or whether it's Wentz, like the Vikings, I mean, there's no football is going to football.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the thing that I don't know. It's already 2025, and people who say they've watched this game forever still do this dumb stuff. But football is going to football, and any given Sunday, it's a thing, and people are gonna. There's gonna
Hmm.
be a team that's gonna win because on any given Sunday, a team is. I mean, the Packers lost to the Browns. Like the the Cowboys tied the Packers. Like it's just what I mean. Like things are gonna happen. Like it's the league.
Yeah.
Like on any given Sunday, it's just matchups. You know, Atlanta matched up better with the Bills on
Yes.
Monday. I mean, it's just matchups. Some teams match up better against other teams, and vice versa. So it all starts with the run and on offense, and that's gonna do the other thing. The defense hasn't actually been that bad. It's just they're always on the field because the offense can't maintain a damn drive.
Hmm.
So they're tired. But I know we didn't talk, but I know you had some thoughts on AJ the last couple weeks, if you actually remember those.
Probably not because I think I cooled off.
You cooled off. I mean, the bye was needed.
Oh, the whole thing with them calling out Seth Jones.
So
Not
Joyner,
Seth Joyner. Oh, why did I say Seth Jones?
I don't know,
I
but
don't know. Am I thinking? I
Seth
don't know.
Jones plays hockey. He's
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
he plays. Yeah. Um. Yeah. AJ's a douchebag.
Well,
Like
he.
who are you to call out an Eagles legend and should be in the NFL Hall of Fame?
I mean
Dude,
that.
like shut up. You may have won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, but as of right now, you're not an Eagle great. So shut your fucking mouth when you're talking about Seth Joyner.
Yeah.
It
Well,
better be
he
nothing but praises. When you're talking about Seth
according
Joyner.
according to AJ, he said that he actually didn't tweet that.
He's
So
full of shit.
he was trying to insinuate that he had somebody run his account. So I don't know. Um. So I
Well, then
mean,
why didn't he immediately come out and say, sorry, that wasn't me? That was the guy I had run. Yeah, you're full of shit.
yeah. Well, I mean, Seth talked about it on the radio. I did watch that last week, and he said he's dropping it. Steph's dropping it, but he said that I guess he's talked to some people, and I guess like they think it was AJ, but I mean that's what it is.
It was 100% AJ.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of that, and that's somebody brought that up. I was watching, I forget who I was watching a clip of, but there's a lot of I think it was Colleen Wolf. She was doing something at one of the podcasts I watched, and she was talking about that. She was like, "Well, won the Super Bowl, and then now everybody wants their whole like shine, and it's kind of become that, even though they're like avoiding the thing. Now it's like it feels like some people are like, oh well, we got the ring now, I have to get mine." And I mean, AJ seems like the one in the forefront there because of all his bitching. But everybody, I guess, whether it's their Super Bowl hangover or not, they're kind of playing for themselves a lot. So,
Yeah,
um,
they need to knock that shit off and play for each other and play for the city and go win another Super Bowl, regardless of what your goddamn numbers are. Because that's what Jalen does. Jalen doesn't give a shit about his numbers. He just wants to win Super Bowls.
I mean, that's what I want. But I mean,
I could care less if anyone on this team, this specific roster, never makes the Hall of Fame, but yet they've got three Super Bowls,
yeah, I
four
mean,
Super Bowls. Who-
and that's what I think. I kind of said that, and I'll bring it up. This is what I know people, and he said the same thing. It's going to sound like I'm quoting him, but people don't like him. He made a good point, so I'm going to repeat it. People don't like him, but look, you got to realize this is what Belichick did for 15 years. He's the last one that was able to like repeat and keep going back to the Super Bowl, whether they won or not, was
Mhm.
because like he he set a code, and I'm not, this is not a shot at Nick, but like he set a culture where, and yeah, some people will come out, yeah, it was business, it's not fun, whatever, you know, like, Lane took a shot after we beat them in 17, like, yeah, we have fun over here, stuff like that, like, but yeah, sometimes it's a job, and sometimes like that is needed sometimes, like, yeah, we're gonna get in here, and then he found a way to get everybody from the egos from getting out, basically
Mhm.
out of control and becoming like a me. Um, and they have the perfect person. I'm not saying he is Brady, but they have the perfect person at quarterback to follow from. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the guy just wants to win. Like doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like yes, when I say the players need to execute better, play better, and it's more on the players and the coaches. I'm not going to blame like Patullo, like most people, but I still like Jalen does need to play better, but he hasn't played horrible. Yes, has there been some times where I think that, and he's done this all his career. I don't think I'm not one of these people who thinks he can't read a defense. Let's be honest. After year three, and I think after Pat won his first Super Bowl, there's an interview. I gotta find it. There's an interview somewhere where he basically admits that like after year three, he didn't even really know how to read defense as well. He like made a joke about it. Like he was like, imagine when
Mhm.
I can read them. Like I don't know how much reading of defenses like some people are doing nowadays. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not. I do think that he does get stuck sometimes. What I mean is like before the snap, he gets set on somebody. That's what happened on the interception against the Giants. He got set on Dotson, just threw it there. I mean,
Mhm.
it also might have not been like a great throw, honestly. And then the cornerback jumped it. But he, from the second that snap comes out, he's looking left. He's looking in that direction. There's only two receivers there. I think it was like one of the tight ends and Dodson. And he just throws it there. He doesn't look the other way because people were like, AJ was open. Yeah, he wasn't looking that way. And you don't, you, you can break the play down afterwards and be like, well, if he read this, he would have known like this was open. But to me, that's just telling me that he was dead set on Dotson and that's where he was going to go, and he went there, and that's he can do that sometimes. I also still think I said this last year when they were struggling. also think that in certain situations they run very long developing routes,
Mm-hmm.
and I still think that's an issue sometimes.
It's
So
100% an issue, especially when you got a line right now. It's not really blocking as great
well,
as they can.
in in the past, well, yeah, like when they get stunned, they've been horrible. When it's just a straight up pass rush, they've held up pretty well. But like Jalen, I don't know why. Like all of a sudden, people want like Brett Favre to be on this team where he was just slinging it wherever he wants and didn't care that he got interceptions. Uh, Jalen actually does care, and he's sometimes he's a little bit too conservative. I will say that, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not. He's very risk averse, where he's trying not to turn it over. He's not trying to be the reason why they don't win. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was his against the Giants. That was his first interception, and other than that, he had two fumbles. He has only had three turnovers all season, and it took until week 6 for that to happen. He's got one interceptions. I know he hasn't thrown that many touchdown passes, but still, like it's how he works. He's not. It's very risk averse. Yes, like I mean, I've seen him do it. Let's be honest, and maybe it was the magic of Shane Steichen because look at Daniel Jones, what he's doing over at Indy, and Indy's 5-1, and they look pretty good right there, and he's resurrected Daniel Jones. But that year, like you can't. Yes, I understand people can regress, but I don't think he's regressed, and you don't lose that. I think people because it was 2022 that it happened 3 years ago, and it's easy to forget. But I've seen him do it. It's there. I've seen it in the Super Bowl. I know people. Somebody was making an argument the other day on something that I tuned in. I think with Seth that like I think it was the camera being he's stubborn or whatever, and
He's
he
an
said
idiot.
that like he basically attributes the defense for winning the game, and Seth Joyner was there doing that when he said that he was like the defense only scored 7 points, and it was on the interception by Coop. Like the offense put up the points. Yes, the defense helped set them up, but you can't take credit away from that. I mean, the Chiefs had a game plan to shut down Saquon and force Jalen to pass, and he did. Like, I don't understand. Like in the biggest stage, both times, one win, one loss. He's he's outperformed Pat. He's outperformed Pat.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big game player. This is just the regular season. The only people who make these games big are the media. It's just the regular season, and it feels like every other week. Oh, this is a big game for the Eagles. There's Yeah, I mean because the season's so short, you can make it that way. Oh, there's 16 big games. There really isn't. Like
Yeah.
maybe a couple, and it's usually towards the end of the season. Like, and there might be big games because of who they're playing, because the other team is also really good or has a good record. So, but I still think they're going to be fine. I
They'll be
think
all right.
that the players need to uh, pull up their pants, button them up, and get to work and execute better. Stop making dumb mistakes and like show it because I think without the injuries on paper, this is still one of the best rosters in the NFL, if not the best. Uh, so I think it's still there. I don't think this is a. I think this is a lack of execution. I don't think this is a lack of like the coaches or whatever. And once again, feels like deja vu. Feels like I'm back after week 4 last season before the bye, and I'm hearing the same things all over again.
Oh, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. So I mean, but they play the Vikings. We don't know who's starting yet. It's either Wentz or McCarthy. Either way, both of those quarterbacks don't scare me. McCarthy's a young QB, and yes, people are going to throw that. Well, Jackson Dart did this. Yeah, whatever. Um, clock's right. What once or twice a day, whatever the fuck this saying is. But but yeah, not worried. But
A broken clock is right twice a day.
there you go. That's the saying. That's why he's here.
Yeah, for the stupid shit like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'm here.
Yep. Well, anything else you got to say for our audience before we go today or this week?
No, just relax.
Say it again.
Just
I agree
relax.
with him. Just relax. Let the season play out.
Relax. Relax.
All right, Aaron. Aaron. But yeah, Vikings Eagles Sunday. I think it's 1 o'clock. And they have a chance to get back on top. I know a lot of people get all hyped about the Vikings, but the Vikings aren't perfect either. So the line's okay, and they either have Wentz or a basically rookie QB. So I mean, they have a chance to go into the bye with 2 more wins and go into the bye 6-2. So there's
Hmm.
still there's still plenty of season left. And guess what? All the other contenders still don't. They have like the same record as the Eagles. So um,
Yeah.
and Washington's not looking great. Everybody's worried about Jalen and them.
Jaden. Yeah,
Yeah, Jaden and them.
Jaden sucks.
Yeah, they're having sophomore struggles over there. Um,
Dude,
Giants and the Cowboys suck. The Cowboys defense sucks, but they can put up points. And yes, we might lose to the Cowboys the second time because it's just how it works. It's just the division thing.
we always go 50-50 with them.
Yeah, we always split. So relax. Um,
That's just how
and we
NFC
might split
East
with
rivalries go.
Washington. Maybe we might sweep them. That's it's the division. Like we could have swept them last year. Jalen got hurt. It was a different game.
Yeah.
Like so, I would relax. The Packers are beatable. Detroit's beatable. That's who they play. Chicago's beatable. That's who they have left outside of the division in the NFC. So, um, it's they'll be fine. They'll be fine unless these injuries, and if they're not fine, then I'll admit it. But right now, I think it's injuries and players just need to get their shit together, and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Later.